Greetings, Guardians. Olympus Alliance here, and today we bring you something truly special. The new tank of the Way of Eternity, Electra von Grave, has arrived, and she's unlike anything we've seen before. Her kit is so unique, so game-changing, that it deserves a full deep dive. In this video, we're going to show her items of rank to show exactly what fuels her power, and then break down her skills one by one, with full detail and explanation, because every single ability she has comes with mechanics that can flip entire battles. If you want to understand how Electra absorbs, protects, blinds and transforms raw defense into unstoppable health, this is the video you cannot miss. So let's dive in, and first a look on items of rank. We all know you want to see what is needed to level up this beast. And know the real magic, Electra von Grave skills. Let's dive in and see why she will be your number tank call. Pain's Embrace, her first skill. This is Electra's defining ability, and it's one of the most unique tank skills in all of Hero Wars Alliance. For 6 full seconds, Electra becomes a living wall. She absorbs all incoming damage, physical, magical, pure, everything gets funneled into her. While this is active, she cannot attack, move, or be displaced, but that's not a weakness. It's design. During those 6 seconds she is basically telling the enemy team, everything you throw at us, throw it at me instead. But here's the twist, the ability doesn't just end with her surviving. Once Pain's Embrace expires, Electra releases 2 devastating effects. 1. Blinding nearby enemies for 7 seconds. Blinded enemies miss their basic attacks, which completely neutralizes marksman and physical damage dealers like Yasmin, Kira, and Ginger. 7 seconds of missed attacks in the middle of a fight is brutal. It's long enough to flip the momentum of the entire battle. 2. Boosting her allies' magic attack. And this isn't a small buff. At max level, we're talking about a bonus of over 23,000 magic attack, 50% of her own magic attack plus a flat bonus. This turns every mage in your team into a wrecking ball. Iris, Zesha, Mojo, Krista, or even Faceless, all of them spike in damage the second Pain's Embrace ends. Let's break it down in synergy terms. Pair Electra with Iris, and the extra magic attack means Iris is soul burning and in a fire burn hotter than ever. With Zesha, her deadly ray becomes a death sentence. With Krista and Lars, the extra magic attack amplifies their combo so much it feels like cheating. So Pain's Embrace is not just defense. It's both survival and empowerment. It soaks the burst, stalls the enemy, blinds their carries, and supercharges your mages. In other words, Electra flips damage into opportunity. And the absorption scaling is insane. At max, she can absorb nearly 500,000 damage before the skill even times out. That's a frontline fortress that doesn't just protect, she transforms that protection into a fence for the whole squad. Field of Lightning, her second skill. Electra doesn't just protect, she punishes. With Field of Lightning, she strikes nearby enemies with bursts of electricity, shredding their magic defense for a full 9 seconds. Now here's where it gets deadly. At max level, this skill reduces enemy magic defense by nearly 15,000 flat, scaling directly from her magic attack stat. But that's only the base. The real danger comes from the scaling effect. For every 10,000 health Electra has lost, the magic defense reduction increases by an additional 250 points. This means that the more Electra takes damage, the more dangerous she becomes. Instead of crumbling under pressure like most tanks, she transforms pain into power for her mages. Imagine this in a real battle. The enemy team is hammering her down, but every hit lowers their magic defense even further, setting them up for a catastrophic strike from her allies. Let's talk synergy. Pair Electra with Iris, and Field of Lightning amplifies every tick of inner fire and makes soul-burning executions almost guaranteed. Add Zesha, and her deadly ray will melt through defenses like butter. Combine her with Mojo or Krista, and their magic becomes devastating. And of course, Faceless benefits massively, copying powerful skills against enemies stripped of their magic defense. This isn't just a debuff, it's a setup skill. It primes the battlefield for mages, ensuring that the enemy's defenses crumble at the exact moment your team unleashes their heaviest spells. And remember, the duration is 9 seconds. That's an eternity in Hero Wars combat. 9 seconds where the enemy is stripped of one of their most important survival stats. If timed right after her first skill, Pain's Embrace, this becomes a perfect 1-2 punch, soak the damage, blind the enemy, then leave them wide open for magical annihilation. Oath of Protection, Electra third skill. This is where Electra truly earns the title of Herald of the Ancient God. Oath of Protection is not just a shield, it's a pledge. For a full 10 seconds, Electra takes part of the damage that would have been dealt to her allies and carries it herself. Here's how it works. At max level, Electra can absorb over 83,000 damage per ally, scaling with her health. But when it comes to her fellow Way of Eternity heroes, this effect becomes even stronger, reaching over 128,000 absorbed damage. That's a massive cushion, and it makes her the perfect centerpiece for Eternity-based comps. The condition is simple but clever, she only protects allies whose current health is lower than hers. This means she naturally prioritizes saving the weakest or most damaged allies in the fight. Your fragile mages like Iris, Zesha, or Mojo are instantly covered by Electra's shield, giving them precious time to unleash their devastating spells. Now think about the synergy here. With Iris, Electra soaks up the punishment while Iris prepares soul burning. It's like handing Iris the perfect stage to execute her enemies. With Tempus, the synergy is unreal. Tempus freezes time, extending debuffs, while Electra absorbs damage meant for the team. It creates a lock where the enemy cannot break through. With Krista and Lars, the twins, her absorption ensures they stay alive long enough to chain their combo for devastating bursts. And here's the hidden gem, this skill isn't just defense, it's also offense. Because Electra absorbs more damage dealt specifically to Way of Eternity heroes, it ensures your faction-based synergy teams not only survive longer, but also bait out enemy ultimates without losing their key pieces. Think of it as Electra stepping into the role of the Ancient Guardian. She doesn't let the enemy pick off your squishy backline. Instead, she says, "Hit me, not them," and then turns that damage into opportunities for your mages to strike back harder. Immortal Shell, her violet skill and final skill. This is the core of Electra's identity. Immortal Shell is not just a skill, it's a transformation. At the very start of battle, Electra sacrifices everything, her armor, her magic defense, and even her dodge, and converts them all into pure health. That's right. From the first second, her defensive stats are permanently set to 0 and can never be altered during combat. No buffs, no reductions, no adjustments. It's all gone. But in exchange, her maximum health skyrockets to levels no other tank can achieve. The more defensive stats she converts, the higher her health becomes. At max level, we're talking about an increase of almost 90,000 health plus an additional bonus for every 1,000 defensive stat points converted. This means Electra doesn't just tank, she becomes a living wall of health, capable of absorbing punishment that would obliterate other tanks in seconds. Now, here's why this skill is so game-changing. Normally, tanks rely on a mix of armor, magic defense, and dodge to survive. But those stats can be bypassed or countered. Critical hits shred dodge. Armor penetration shreds armor. High magic attack heroes burn through magic defense. Electra says no to all of that. She takes the gamble of putting everything into one stat, raw health. You can't penetrate it, you can't creep through it, and you can't ignore it. You simply have to chew through her enormous health bar while her other skills are protecting her allies and boosting their damage. The trade-off. She becomes a very specialized tank. Because she has 0 armor and 0 magic defense, certain heroes that deal percentage-based or pure damage can cut through her faster than you expect. Heroes like Dante or Octavia don't synergize well with her, because their mechanics are designed around armor, dodge, or defenses that she simply no longer has. But pair her with the right allies. She's a nightmare. Imagine Electra in front of Iris, Zesha, or Tempest. She absorbs punishment like no one else, buys them time, and then her other skills, Pain's Embrace, Field of Lightning, and Oath of Protection, turn that survivability into momentum for the entire team. What you have with Immortal Shell is a design that flips the tank role upside down. Electra isn't about blocking with defenses, she's about tanking with life itself. She gambles everything on her health pool, and when supported properly, that gamble pays off in ways no other hero can replicate. And there you have it, Guardians. Electra is not just another tank, she's a whole new way of thinking about frontline defense. From absorbing impossible amounts of damage, to blinding foes, to sacrificing her own defenses to become an unbreakable wall of health, every one of her skills screams uniqueness and raw power. She doesn't just protect her team. She rewrites the flow of the battle. But this is only the beginning. Here on Olympus Alliance, we're going to cover everything about Electra in the days ahead: how to build her, how to counter her, the top 5 teams where she shines brightest, and finally, her ultimate full guide. You won't want to miss a single one of these deep dives, so stay tuned right here. Until next time, Guardians, stay sharp, stay ready, and as always, salute and friendship.